So it is all eyes on everybody behind him in that first sector. 300ths down for Wojciech Luva, but is there time in the middle and final part of the lap, which he can improve on? Heading through turn 8, nicely done through there, as you then want to drift the car to the right, clip over that inside curve, drift it back over to the right-hand side on the exit of turn 9, as you then go to the middle of the circuit, go back over to the right, down to 4th gear, through turn 10, into 11 now, clip that inside curve, run it out wide, then go as tight to that inside as possible as Huskins moves himself into 5th place with a 26-0. Wojciech Luva now out of 13. DRS will be open for the Scarlet Red Ferrari. We'll see if he's able to set an improvement in the middle sector. Yes, he is, but only half a tenth. This won't be enough for pole position, let alone even an improvement. So, now, heading down Raffles Avenue into the final chicane. He has to be super committed on the brakes, which he is, as he then heads through that chicane. Oh, a little bit unresponsive there, having to make a few corrections in that middle part of the second apex of the chicane. For Wojciech Luva up to the line, and it's not good enough for a positional improvement. Axel's invalidated. Exotic's backed out. It's all eyes on JTK for pole position.
Absolutely. Let's have a look in Sector 2. If he can improve on his latest lap into turn number 10, it's absolute chaos in qualifying. The front three not setting lap times. It's all eyes on the Aston Martin, the British Racing Green. Beautiful car. When he gets the DRS wide open and flies to the sector line, is he improving? Let's have a look. He is by a tenth of a second only. He needs to shave another tenth off that if he wants to grab pole position for his teammate and stop Steve Bracknell, aka Thunderino, extending that championship, well, closing that championship lead by another point into the final chicane. Can JTK do it? On his return, grab 2 wins in 2, and now can he grab pole for his teammate? To the line he goes! He cannot, and he loses time in that final sector and stays in P5, so that means Thunderino has done it. He's grabbed pole position, and that means he's got an extra point in advantage to take it to the final round. Wow.
The big stipulation, but red lights are coming on, so Alex, take us away.
The silence breaks and the battle begins. Steve Bracknell heads away from pole position. Thunderino at the front, Raxi at the back, and hence to one. It's a fantastic start from Thunderino. Exactly what he needs. And at the back, Raxi climbing through the positions already and up into P15. But what a start from Thunderino. Exotic in P2, Axel in P3, and Phoenix, then JTK as we head on a long run down to turn number 7. But it's a great start for Thunderino, and in behind, squabbling for P6 is Antonio Bove and Ben Huskins, and you head to the breaking point. Then JTK and Phoenix both fighting out, but Phoenix coming out on top and getting ahead of JTK and keeping him at bay. But what a start from Thunderino, 6 tenths at the top, and Exotic kept at bay.
And now he's lining up that move. Is the Aston Martin driver, of course, DRS enabled after that first lap. He's using the battery. Here comes Raxi to the outside line. Is he going to be past Gary Freeleg before the corner even arrives? Yes, he is. Oh, he's already on the version of points. Raxi really aggressive, and for his championship chances, this is looking very, very good. Can Raxi make it another? Make it 2 drivers within 3 laps down the Raffles Boulevard. Huskins able to get past Bove. Axel was able to get past Exotic, and here comes Raxi to the inside line into turn 8. Luva's actually got some front wing damage on that left-hand side end plate. It has gone missing, and Raxi round the outside through turn 8. It was bold, it was brave, and it was absolutely beautiful from the Aston Martin driver, and he is up into the top 10. With a virtual safety car for Isaiah Jarvis. I think he retired on the road. And this brings everything back down to a snail's pace. But further up, I did just notice that after Axel got past Exotic, good old Steve Bracknell Thunderino was able to break that DRS. So the Alpine is doing everything he possibly can to try and keep this race victory, this championship and race victory in his hands. We'll have to wait and see what will happen as this virtual safety car is ending and we go green once more. And it's a beautiful pull away from the Alpine.
Beautiful, beautiful restart. I saw him get on the power, absolutely perfect. Then both the McLarens getting a bit feisty as we're heading to turn number 17. Exotic and Phoenix squabbling in the chicane. That's not ideal for the team, and that's just let Axel 1.2 clear. Thunderino 1.4 seconds clear and flying out front after that VSC restart, but can Axel close in? Let's see his pace in the clean air as Isaiah Jarvis is now out of the session. Raxi, what's he doing out in P10? Stuck behind Sneaky Guy so far, as he might just be stuck in this DRS train. Can he have the pace advantage to make some moves in the early doors? In the first sector, Thunderino losing about 2/10 of a second. In behind Phoenix, he's making his route down the inside of Exotic and makes it stick. JTK also squabbling as well as they head into Stamford at turn 8. Does that down in the wall. Goes Exotic and climbing down the order. That's +1 for Raxi, but minus about 14 for Exotic. And he's well and truly out of contention for the podium now.
And unfortunately putting JTK slightly into the wall, but on board with Raxi once again. He's got the DRS open, and he's all over the back of Antonio Bove, looking to pick off another position, maybe even 2 positions into one corner. There's Icky Robbo. He's also missing some left front end plate damage, a bit like Voitis Luva, who's just made a move on Sneaky Guy. Raxi now around the outside of the RB, a little bit of contact between the pair, and Bove just looking in his mirrors and able to stay in front for now.
As we head into turn number 5, and on the exit, surely going to fly through with that DRS. The Aston Martin flying from the back of the grid, now into the top 6. What a start from Raxi into P6, and now well and truly still in the fight for the podium positions if he keeps going like this. Steve Bracknell, Thunderino 1.6 clear, Phoenix 2.7 behind, JTK on the fringes of getting back in the DRS of Phoenix, and Ben Huskins in the DRS of JTK, and Raxi 3 seconds behind them. Can he close in that gap? In the words of Bradley Walsh, the chase is on, and can he do it? Can he fly through the traffic and get after Axel? And you never know, still 21 laps to go, anything can happen, and I'm sure if there's a safety car, that could cook up some absolute drama, especially in the latter stages of the race. But he's right on the back of Ben Huskins, and is this the lap where he flies into the top 5? And let's see, rearing open for Phoenix, for Ben Huskins, and for Raxi. Look how close he is. Surely gonna go down the inside at turn number 7 at Memorial Corner. He's making his own memories, flying round the outside of Ben Huskins, but Ben Huskins keeps him at bay. Lovely defensive moves. Raxi still trying to find it with another switch back at turn number 9, but still having to stay behind. Ben Huskins stays ahead, and it's another lap survived for the Mercedes, unless the Aston Martin can fly through on the exit of turn 13, down to turn 14, or up to turn 16 at Raffles Avenue. So we'll have to see when he gets on the power once again. He's got a lot of battery to play with, but Ben Huskins using it and staying well and truly ahead. Heading into turn 14, Raxi still on the loose and still setting sail on the route down Raffles Avenue in the slipstream. He's not using any battery yet. So he's going to wait another lap, and Ben Huskins survives another lap, and we're going to go into lap 11, and he's going to be under even more pressure.
And could this potentially be to help out his teammate as well? But Raxi, this will be an ambitious move to the inside through turn 5, but no backs out of it, but does put Ben Huskins offline. And here we are then, down Raffles Boulevard, heading through turn 6, it's Little Kink right up into turn 7. He's got to look to the outside line as the Aston Martin of the inside for turn 8. If he's able to hold it, Huskins forces him as wide on the circuit as he possibly can. Late on the brakes from Raxi, a little bit of contact made, but surely this time around the Aston Martin gets through. Switched up the tactic, and it's worked absolutely beautifully as he moves to the inside and makes his way up into the top 5. 11 laps it's taken Raxi to move from P20 to P5. It has been an absolute masterclass from the Aston Martin. Now he's got his teammate and Phoenix in front of him on the fringes of the top 3. Thunderino now 2.3 seconds clear, but he's going to be looking back at this, now seeing Raxi enter that top 5 on his in-game screen and thinking, what is this guy on? He is so quick, he is so fast, and it's just seeming like there's no way to hold him back for the entire race. Look at the undercut that Raxi has got. He's already on the back of Axel, And that gap was around about 4-5 seconds by the time they came into the pit. Raxi came into the pit lane. He's got the traffic of red in between himself and the Scarlet Red Ferrari. But if he's able to navigate the Williams quite quickly, he'll be on the attack on the Ferrari ever so fast, be within DRS range, and that will leave him only 2 seconds behind Thunderino. So here comes Raxi on red. He's got to look to that inside line. He's got the run out of turn 9, and he's now up into P7, which is net P3. And for Raxi, he's now on the fringes of breaking into that top 2. And what a monstrous undercut, and what a monstrous 13 laps this has been. The Mercedes driver really struggling on these hard compounded tyres. He's not liking them at all. And for Raxi, he's been absolutely flying on them. Don't forget, they were neck and neck when they came into the pit lane. In the span of about 3 laps, Raxi has completely dropped the Mercedes. And are we now going to see something as Icky Robbo's retired?
Oh.
And it's a safety car. Perfect for Phoenix and JTK as they were just coming into the pit lane. And Robbo actually crashed into the pit lane.
Oh my days. What a race we have on our hands. JTK gets a 10-second time penalty, so that leaves Phoenix surely in the net lead as we come around the final corner. As they have been passed. So they won't be coming out ahead of the leaders. I thought the gap was about 14 seconds. I thought that would be surely enough. But these guys obviously not going slow enough. As they're catching up to the back of a safety car. So
I think because, of course, they've crossed the line in the pit entry, they can the delta gets removed and they can just go full throttle all the way to the safety car. So that's probably why they've been able to get by so easily.
we are coming round the final 2 corners. When's Thunderino gonna go for it? When's he gonna fly and get his foot down? He has now, just heading into turn number 18 and 19 and got a fantastic restart, about 6 attempts clear, but Raxi right on the back of Axel, who might just be caught napping in behind Voices Louver, getting caught in by Ben Huskins and nearly going side by side into turn number 1, but Antonio Bove getting past Red into turn number 3. But what a start from Thunderino. The gap about 4 tenths per second and flying out in front. Axel is also slowly closing in though. Can he try and throw a curveball in the mix as we go on the route down Raffles Avenue into turn number 14? Into turn number 7, sorry. Can Axel try and get through the gap about 2 tenths per second? He cannot this time around. So Thunderino needs to try and establish a gap and get away. Phoenix seems to have some early pace, catching up to the back of Raxi on his fresher tyres. But can Phoenix also try and make a move at Raxi for the first time this race? Someone overtaking Raxi? I've never heard of such a thing. And the cars behind Axel and Raxi both getting that DRS. Can Axel try and make a move on Thunderino? Is he going to dive to the inside line? He absolutely is. He's still side by side. It's a fantastic defensive move around the outside, but Raxi flying to the inside line at turn number 8. Side by side with Axel, getting on the power once again. He's got the outside line with the Ferrari with the inside line. It's a fantastic move from Raxi, who gets through and can see his championship hopes just in sight as we head around turn number 10 into the Singapore Sling section. It goes Thunderino, then Raxi from the back of the grid after pulling off a fantastic move at turn number 9. You don't see many there around the outside as Raxi could potentially be in the race lead this time next lap. Wow! On the exit with the DRS, the gap about 2.5 tenths per second from the back of the grid. Can he now fly into the race lead? He pulls to the outside line and he flies around the outside of Thunderino and flies into the race lead from the back of the grid with a quali ban flying to the front from P20 on lap 1. Into the net race win and into the championship winning position. What a race from Raxi as he flies into the race lead, as he's now going to try and stay clear of any sort of action with Thunderino. Can Thunderino stay in that DRS and still fight for his championship hopes as we head on to Esplanade Drive for the 22nd time in this race? As yeah, it's too far behind to make a move unless he uses battery into turn number 7. But no, Raxi is going to lead this lap in behind Voices Louver. He's making a move on Ben Huskins and also making a move is JTK on Sneaky Guy, sneaking through the inside line. Now also nearly making contact with Ben Huskins as well. here on his debut. Got a 3-second time penalty, and that might just have any chance of the podium well written off, as the former champion Phoenix also trying to make a move, and going off the track is Axel and just letting Phoenix through. A smart decision there. It would have been side by side into Stamford at turn 8, but no, letting him through. Probably a smart decision as he is on the fresher tyres, but Axel letting Phoenix through and letting him try and close in to our race leaders. As look at how close they are. Funderino closing in on the last few sectors. He hasn't won a race for a long time. It'll be a long few seasons for Phoenix without that race win. Can he get himself back onto the top step? He won the Season 7 championship, and can he get another race win under his belt? I think the last time he won was Portimao, if I'm not mistaken. But here comes Phoenix. He's going for a move, not just on one, but on them both. Can he go round the outside of Raxi, who's also trying to win the championship? There goes Phoenix, the Season 7 champion on the, you never know, Season 11 champion.
Magnussen has made up places at the start, but here comes Sebastian Vettel!
There goes Phoenix around the outside at turn number 9. What a move from Phoenix, getting through as Funderino also making a move on Raxi. JTK also getting through as well, but what a battle and what a win this could be for Phoenix. As the gap, 1.3 seconds, JTK also through, so I don't think it's going to go to Raxi this time around. The gap as it stands, 15 points would be won by Raxi and only 12 points for Funderino, but it needs to be the full 4 points to win the championship. 1.1 clear of JTK, the 2-time race winner this season, JTK as well. Can Phoenix get back to the top step as Funderino getting through, and now purely in better championship position and denying that championship to be won here in Singapore. What a race it's been for Raxi, but I think it's going to be the Phoenix show once again after a long awaited time to the top step of that podium. As we head on to Raffles Avenue once again, can Phoenix keep him at bay? I think he just might with a good enough exit, but in the slipstream, draining all that battery. Can JTK go for a late lunge? I don't think he can. So this man, the former Season 7 champion, he hasn't been on that top step since Portimao in Season 7 Round 4. He's got to get to the top step once again in Season 11. What a race from Phoenix. What a battle to the top step. The man in Papaya, the one of the most loyal members we've got in Essedar at the minute, takes the checkered flag in P1. What a battle. What a victory. Phoenix, you are a race winner once again in Essedar. What a race and what a showstopper here in Singapore. It's going to go down to the final race for the championship. But wow, Phoenix in P1.